Hi, welcome to another episode of The Lord's Delight. Today, as the series continues on sleep, we'll be talking about the incident where Jesus slept on the boat. This incident is described in two places in the Bible, one in Mark and one time in Matthew. The context here is the disciples are sailing with Jesus, and the Bible describes this as a squall or a storm that came over where the water was sweeping over the boat completely. So, this was no little toss up. The water was completely sweeping over the boat, and Jesus was sleeping by the stern, which is the back part of the boat. You can read this in Matthew chapter 8, verses 23 to 26, 27, and also in Mark chapter 4, verses 36 to 38. Mark 4:38 really captured my interest because there the disciples are crying out to Jesus, waking him up, asking him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" Underlying to that is the astonished fact that we are going through such a storm. How can you sleep so calmly and peacefully? Like, are you not worried about what is going to happen? Are you not anxious? And that's the captivating part because Jesus has such faith, like he's God and he understands what's going to happen next, and he knows because he has the power. But he expects the disciples, I believe, to trust him. This is also a testing situation. The disciples have seen Jesus do so many miracles, but right before this incident in Matthew, he talks about the cost of following him. So I guess if we interpret it to our situations, when the storm comes, we know he's there, but we are worried that he's asleep in our lives and he doesn't care what's going to happen next. That is really funny part because if we acknowledge his sovereignty, then and if we really trust him, we cannot be anxious or worried. These two are mutually exclusive. They can't happen at the same time. We acknowledging that he's sovereign and trusting him, but still worrying and being anxious about what we are going through. Yes, of course, we will have all different kinds of feelings and emotions as we go through ups and downs or really trying situations. But instead of complaining or asking him, "Don't you see what is happening?" or "Don't you care?" I think at times it helps to be open to him and tell him, "Hey, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling disappointed, I'm feeling not seen, but I know you are there." I think to get to that point of maturity, it takes walking with him closely and being rooted in his word. The response of Christ to crying out of the disciples is he has two questions. One is he's asking them why they are so afraid, and two, do you still have no faith? So, the first thing is about fear. So, when I look back at circumstances in my life when I'm really afraid, let's think about it. I guess it would be the first time I was driving on a highway, or after I have learned and I got my license, I bought a new car. So, driving on I-35 or with the other cars in the lane, following all the rules, that freaked me out. I was really terrified. But why was I terrified? One, I was not trusting, or I knew my skill set, so I was not sure if I could trust myself with the car in the traffic. So I think fear takes root when we are not able to trust whoever has the driving wheel, right? So if Christ has, so to say, he was driving my life, he is the driver of my life, I shouldn't be having fear because he's the master. Like, he knows when my life is even going to end and how. He has my days numbered and he knows what they are. So if I still am afraid after giving him the wheel, it only points to two things. One, I'm not able to trust him fully, or The fact that I am probably trying to take the wheel from him, trying to go in the direction I think it would work, I think those both would end disastrous. So the second question he asks is, do you still have no faith? To me, this still signifies that they have traveled with him, they have stayed with him, they have been on this journey with him, and they have observed him from, really close. And they have a perspective which we probably all would like to have, but we don't. And they lived with him day in and out, and still they did not have faith in him. So, if I claim to be a Christ follower who's ardently following him to be Christ like, and if I am in the same situation where he can question me, hey, do you still not have faith in me? How does that reflect on my journey until this point where I'm claiming to be his follower? I just want to leave you guys with this. Even though it might feel like or look like you're going through a storm where Jesus is, yeah, he's around, but he's comfortable sleeping, it doesn't represent the whole picture, because he is a God, as we've seen in the past two episodes also. He knows me. He is an all-seeing God. Even Hagar named him El Rohi because of that. He sees my heart. He knows my intentions and motives that even I might not be able to delineate. He knows the words in my mouth before they are formed. So, such a God, if He is quiet and calm, there is a purpose. So, if you are afraid, if you think that, your faith is failing, go to Him, tell Him that. He is a God who's open to hearing our true feelings, and He is not one to, break off a bruised reed or someone who quenches a flickering flame. He loves when we are vulnerable and open with Him. He loves that integrity when our inside matches what we say on the outside. So I hope this encourages somebody out there today, and I'll see you guys in one more episode next week. And don't forget to check out the blog, the Lord'sDelight.com blog. Okay then, see you later. Bye.